Hello everyone, welcome back to the Nurturing Corner with Shumee, the power of play and why play is important in the child's development.
Hindola, can you help us understand why play is so crucial for the child in the early years?
So, what we call play, Meeta, is not really play for the child, it's child's work. Everything that the child is doing during playing is him working on constructing himself, right? He's constructing himself physically, cognitively, emotionally. So, all that is his work.
Yeah, now that's very interesting because we always believe that play is the superpower of the child, right? Because while we think they are playing, but they are actually developing a lot of things for themselves. So, what are these different developments that happen for the child when they are playing?
So, firstly, when they're little, there's a lot of physical development happening because we give them a lot of toys or equipment to help them physically. Even things like if we give a ball that they roll, they're going to crawl to the ball. Then they roll it and they crawl to the ball. They're developing their muscles, the movement muscles, their coordination, all that. And cognitively, there's so much of development because they're seeing the cause and the effect. They are able to change their environment. Suppose even like dropping a ball, it's falling down, that's cognition for them. Right? There's so much cognition happening. Emotionally, they're trying to balance something, say some balancing some pegs, but it's falling. To get that, to try again, and to have that resilience to, even if it doesn't go according to you, to again try to develop that willpower, all that happens in their play or their work.
Nice. So then again here, how much should we facilitate the play for the child? How much should it be independent, or are there different types of plays that a child can do?
So initially, we can't expect completely independent play by the child. But the whole thing in this, the important factor is to give them developmentally appropriate toys. Yeah. That you can't give like Lego blocks or something to a small child. They're not going to really engage with that. So to give developmentally appropriate ones, and initially you will need to sit with the child and maybe show how to use it, and then the child will take on. If it is developmentally appropriate, the child will be attracted to that, and that's how you know that it is appropriate for the child. And one more thing is they should be a little, they should work towards getting it. It shouldn't be too easy, then they get bored with it, or it shouldn't be too tough that they get frustrated with it. So you should find the right one. And once they start engaging with the toy, for the parent to step aside and just observe and intervene only when necessary. Because if we always think the child should use this toy like this. Yeah, yeah. And if they don't use it like this, we intervene and say, no, 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 yeah, that's not how you do it. This is how you play. Let the child do what they want with that toy because they know what their developmental needs are and they're working towards that. So to just observe.
That's interesting. So, also, sometimes is there a certain amount of playtime that we should give to our child, like especially when the child is a baby and we are also trying to engage them in play? So, is there fixed playtime? Is there a fixed amount of time? Should we be worried about this in any way?
So, if we're talking about a small baby, other than feeding and sleeping and getting physical care done, all the other time is playtime for the child, right? And they need it. It's the most important thing for the child's development. So they need it. And on the movement mat, to whatever you think is right at that point, or if they are on they're having tummy time, whatever toys you can give at that time. And one more thing is to not flood them with things around them, to have only necessary and sufficient number of toys, because too much is overwhelming for the child and cannot make a choice. For a baby, I would say just two things and allow the child to choose what they want to interact with. But like I said, every other time other than physical care, sleeping and eating is playtime.
So, also, like we as parents, we try to do structured activities for the child, even structured play. There's unstructured play, and I know some part of it also makes sense when they're a little older, right? So, but how do we balance this and start making transitions towards an unstructured play, or let the child be more on their own?
Yeah. So yes, I think now, especially for older children, we are moving too much into structured play or structured classes. Everything is too structured. Yes, it does have its benefits because the child is also working on specific skills, and this structured play or structured classes helps in a certain way. But unstructured play is very important, especially for their imagination, for their abstraction to grow. As the child is growing up, they are learning what abstraction means. They're able to think of things that are not there right in front of them. So they start doing pretend play, and also emotionally, pretend play and imaginative play is so important because, recently in my son's school, one child had a sibling, and that whole week, my whatever my son was telling, like what they played in school was like one child was pregnant and delivered. Whatever they're going through at home, whatever emotions they're going through, they bring it out in this unstructured free play. So it's important to give them that time and let them use it the way they want.
But that's a very good example that you brought up, because I think they are making sense of the world around them.
Yes.
And I think imaginative pretend play helps them also put it
Yeah.
into words for them.
Also, I think in this generation, so many children say, I'm bored, I'm bored. Why is this boredom? Because we've structured their life so much, and we've given things that now you think about this, now you do this. Everything's directed by us. In free play, we are not directing, they are responsible for entertaining themselves. So then that boredom doesn't come into picture, and I think it's an important skill to give to our children.
No, I think I absolutely agree, because between our childhood and what we are seeing for our kids, there's a huge difference. I mean, the world at large has changed. And we were always in a more unstructured environment than what our kids are now. So it is our responsibility now to bring that unstructured play for them to a large extent, without making it structured. I think while we want to, but we should not. So there's again a balance there. Okay. So also, again, like as they develop, their development needs develop. So what may be a simpler play for them when they are 2 years old may not hold the same value for them when they're 4 years old. How do we as parents also keep giving them that next step to move towards, like
Yeah, to observe the child and see, like a very small baby, even clutching is very difficult. So to give toys where they can, clutch bigger rings that they can clutch. And as they grow up, then they start using the pincer movements. So for us, observation is the key to know what to give to the child. And the child will let us know when we observe. So that's important, I think. Observation is the key to this.
also in, like again, playing with your companions, like your same age kids, that also teaches a lot of social, emotional skills, collaboration, cooperation. So can any kind of play also help in that? Is there something that you recommend that we help our child with to get more comfortable in that scenario?
So board games are a really good option for the family to come together, or for a group of friends to come together, because then they learn how to take turns, they learn to follow rules, and at this age they're interested in what is moral and what is just. So, to think about that, I think all these things really help.
And I think at this age, even the concept of that you may win, you may lose, all making them comfortable with a scenario like that is also an important aspect. So also, like when as parents we travel, so is there any kind of play that we can engage them with in the travel? Like again, like with my kids, for example, when we used to take car rides, we had this make a story kind of thing. So like how, when, why, and then we will stitch stories. And surprisingly, it used to last an entire car ride, even few hours of travel. And so are there things like this?
Yes, I think verbal games like this are and observation games, like how many red cars did you count, or things like that. Just to use things at your disposal and to be able to play or entertain or get the brain juices flowing is an important thing, because I just feel like I can sit and go on a car ride and just look out the window and be entertained for hours. Whereas children nowadays get so restless, and to allow the child to also get restless, because that boredom and that restlessness is the pathway for creativity, right?
Yes, yeah, no, that's very important. And I think also I personally feel that play, while it's helping the child develop things, but it's also helping the family come together, like when in different aspects. And it's very important, like again, for the child to play independently, play with the family, play with the peers. So I think it's play plays a very
Yeah,
important.
yeah, that's true. It's a good bonding factor for everyone. Yeah.
So thank you, Hindola, for your insights on how play is crucial for a child's development. We here at Shumee believe in the power of play, and we really think that play helps the child at every stage of their life, and even when they grow up to become adults. So let your child play, and they'll learn along the way. So thanks for tuning in, and until next time, bye.